We're in Yaroslavl. Today we're going to look back at the Western Conference Finals. It's an incredible story about Lokomotiv's resurrection on one side and a story about KHL's first Czech team on the other. These are highlights from SKA Lokomotiv series, where one of the league's top teams couldn't do anything about a young and ferocious Lokomotiv who looked amazing under Dave King's command. Lokomotiv has done the unthinkable this spring, abruptly ending SKA's season in the conference semi-final. And there's Lev, another amazing story of these Gagarin Cup playoffs, a team that never ceases to amaze. In the first round they didn't have much trouble against Medveshchak, sweeping them 4-0. In the next round they beat Donbass, coached by Andrei Nazarov. And there they were, in the Western Conference Finals. Who's the favorite in the series? It's hard to tell before the puck drops for Game 1. You may say it's Lev, and they clinched the third spot in the conference in the last moment, and no one really knows their true potential. In the other corner you have Lokomotiv, Cinderella story of the year. They made it through 2 rounds, and it's probably more than they expected to accomplish. They have nothing to lose. Let's take a look back at games 1 and 2. We're headed to Prague. Both games have unfolded in a similar way. Lokomotiv looks strong and creates lots of opportunities down low. Lev is waiting for the chance to strike and then gets the job done. Here's Ondrej Nemec with a cannon of a shot on Curtis Sandberg's net, and Lev takes the lead midway through the first period. Lev smells blood and doubles their lead. Jakub Klepper sends another one in. He's no stranger to winning in the playoffs. He's won 2 Gagarin Cups with Salavat Ulayev and Dynamo Moscow. A bit of a lucky goal, but it sets the tone for the entire game. Lokomotiv's top line, Plotnikov, Opalkov, Averin, is buzzing around the net, but Lev's Petr Vekhanin stays perfect in Game 1. Another Gagarin Cup champion on Lev. He hoisted the cup with Akbars in 2010. Vekhanin shuts the door for Lokomotiv, and his compatriot Niko Kapanen beats Semper for the 3rd time, and Lev wins Game 1 3-0. It's a tactical win more than anything. Lokomotiv's compulsiveness is no match to Lev's experience. I don't think there was anything Lokomotiv surprised us with in Game 1, says Lev's captain Yuri Novotny. We were well aware of the way they played in the previous series. We expected them to play tight defensively, and that's exactly what they gave us. We scored first, got the lead, and then we just built on it. It's a good start for us. Game 2 happens 2 days after. We're still in Prague, we're still at O2 Arena, and we're still looking at the same game. Lokomotiv plays physical hockey trying to get momentum going for them, but Vekhanin does an amazing job in net. In a game like that, it's very important who's going to score first. That's when power play performance is crucial. Lev's special unit gets home team on the board. Nathan Oistrik beats Semper to make it 1-0. And then Swedish forward Patrick Zacherson scores on a 4-on-4 in the second frame to make it 2-0 Lev. Lokomotiv gets a goal back in the third as Igor Averin puts one on a 5-on-3 advantage. The ending was both nerve and bone-wracking, but Lev pulled through. We kept the home ice advantage winning first 2 games, and that's exactly what we had in mind going into the series, says Michal Repik. When you lead 2-0 in the series, it's easier to keep a cool head. All we need now is to win 1 game in Yaroslavl to improve our lead. I think we deserve to win both games. We play well as a team. Game 3, Lokomotiv is the host now. Hockey experts say that Dave King now has all the information he needs about Lev. He's gonna give his troops the right orders, and Loko will give Lev a serious battle. Which they did, but Lev still walked away with the win. It was a classic playoff game. Lokomotiv was pinned against the wall, and sold-out crowd makes their favorites play hard. But the game itself isn't very different from what we've seen in Prague. Loko creates a few good scoring chances, Petr Vyakinen shines again, making great saves, and then Lev draws the first blood. Martin Tornbek's one-timer beats Curtis Sanford, 1-0. Loko keeps the pressure on, giving hell to Petr Vyakinen, but the puck finds its way into the other net again. Tornbek becomes the first star of the game, scoring his second of the night from behind the goal line. Lev leads 2-0. Loko is down, but they still have high hopes for the third period. Not for long, though. Nathan Oistrik takes a shot, and Sanford has to reach for it into the net again. 3-0 left. That's your final in Game 3 and the series. It's common knowledge that no team has come back to win the series after trailing 3-0 in the history of Gagarin Cup playoffs. It doesn't mean Lokomotiv isn't gonna try, though. We're just moments away from Game 4 of the series. As always, the refs hit the ice first for warm-up. The teams are still in the dressing rooms listening to their coaches. We don't know what they're saying down there, but we do know that the series may end tonight. Or perhaps tonight is going to be just the beginning of the series. Lev's record in these playoffs is absolutely incredible. So far they lost just 2 games to Donbass in the second round. You can't help but wonder if they're going to improve that record tonight. Once again, Lokomotiv gets off to a strong start. Here's Danila Palka with a great chance in time, but he's stopped by Vyakinen. Lev strikes in the second period. Kalle Ridderwall puts the puck on net. Sanford stops it, but Iran Novotny scores in a rebound. That's what you get when you skate hard into the slot like that. I didn't even realize the puck went in at first, to be honest with you. You just have to play hard and tight, and that's what happens if you do. Actually, I think it went off a defenseman. Anyway, it was an important goal for us. The team felt more comfortable after it. Lokomotiv goes back to work and throws everything they got on Lev. So far, to no avail. They finally find the back of the net in the least likely way. Defenseman Igor Yakovlev grabs the puck as Loko steals a penalty, storms down the ice and beats Petr Vyakinen. The fans go crazy. Lokomotiv is back on track as Yakovlev scores a beauty. I had never scored a short-handed goal like that, says Yakovlev. I was pretty happy, just as I'm happy whenever I score goals. It's a pretty big deal for me. It was an important goal for Loko, not only because they tied the game, but because it drained confidence from Vyakinen, who seemed to have turned on the god mode in the series. After this, he was just a regular guy prone to make mistakes. Lokomotiv has finally found a key to this finished wall. We started to create more traffic in front of him. He's a human just like anybody else. He's not unbeatable by any means. This had to happen sometime. This game wasn't just about Vyakinen and Yakovlev. There were other guys worth mentioning. Take Sergei Plotnikov, for instance. A guy who in 2 seasons' time became Lokomotiv's leader. He's gonna play a huge role tonight, but right now he's getting 2 minutes for elbowing. The refs do a good job. I mean, they make mistakes just like anybody else from time to time, but overall they do a good job, says Loko's assistant coach Dmitry Yushkevich. I don't want to talk about any specific episodes right now. There's going to be plenty of time for that after the series has ended. Lev is going to turn this power play opportunity into a goal. Nathan Oistrik scores again on a nice offensive rush to make it 2-1 Lev. Third period, it's do or die for Lokomotiv. The fans are on their feet. Loko does get a goal, but it's going to be disallowed as the ref blew his whistle seconds earlier. With every second gone by, with every push and every shove, elimination draws nearer. But Loko ties it up again. Sergei Konkov, who went cold after a hot performance in the first round, buries one past Petr Vyakinen on a neat play late in regulation. We didn't give up and played hard till the very end, says Konkov. Same goes for overtime. We kept playing hard, kept firing them on net, and things have turned in our favor. Overtime. The season may end any second now for Lokomotiv, but they're not holding anything back. On the contrary, it's Lev who goes into defensive shell. Loko is banging on Vekhanen's door, and it works. Sergei Plotnikov, the very same Plotnikov who cost his team the second goal, makes his amends. He's the one who scores the overtime winner, and Lokomotiv lives on, at least for another game. It's not the end of the world, says Novotny. We still lead 3-1 in the series going into Game 5, and the next game we play at home. To be absolutely honest with you, we're satisfied with getting one win in Yaroslavl. We're still in control of the series. We just need to finish the job. After Game 4, Lev had a post-game meal right next to the dressing room. A quick bite and they're off to Prague. The only one who's missing is Yaroslavl, their head coach. He's rather focused and short at the press conference.
I'm not satisfied how we start the game. First period wasn't that what we expected. But after that we playing our normal game, so it was the one ball cold game, and overtime is always the overtime.
This is Game 5, and this is where it ends. Lev scores first like they usually do. Yaroslavl has to catch up again, but this time Lev scores 2 goals in the first period. Repik and Azevedo make a 2-0 home team early in the game. Jeff Black, who joined Loko not long before the deadline, scores late in the opening frame to give Loko some hope heading into the second. However, Michal Birner restores the 2-goal lead soon enough. Loko doesn't have a lot left in the tank, but they do have this extraordinary goal by Platt. He scores his second of the night with a fantastic move. You can say with some confidence that this is probably going to end up as the most elegant goal of the playoffs, but it's going to be the last goal Lokomotiv scores this season. As for Lev, their story isn't finished yet. They still have a shot at the cup as they play in the Gagarin Cup finals for the first time in this young franchise's history.